Democratic Jeff Jackson claims victory over Republican Pat Harrigan.
Yeah, District 14 covers a lot of South and West Charlotte and also some of eastern Gaston County.
Queen City News reporter Sydney Heiberger is live tonight there at Jeff Jackson's watch party.
Yeah, all right, Sydney, so we got a pretty happy mood out there. What else you seeing in the last few minutes or so?
Yeah, we actually got to hear Senator Jeff Jackson address his supporters, his family, his constituents, even his opponent, Pat Harrigan, thanking him for a well-fought race. And we got to speak with him one-on-one as well. Now, even though this race is over, the senator said he is going to stay here, meet anyone who wants to meet him, hear anything that they want to tell him. So there seems to be a pretty big line of people who want to shake his hand and get some issues across to him. But I will tell you, in his speech, his victory speech, he gave us a little bit of inside information about the very first thing he plans to do in his new role as a U.S. representative for this new Congressional District 14. And he says that is to sponsor a bill to end gerrymandering. Now, let's take a listen to what he addressed his constituents as soon as that race was called.
A new district is an opportunity for a new start, for a new generation, and for a new set of expectations. I want to use this office to do important things for the people who live here, and that's not a short list. There are a lot of things that need to be done, but I want to do that work in a way that raises your expectations about what you deserve from people in this position, because your expectations are really low. You were the grassroots army for this campaign, and it worked. Finally, I want to thank my opponent, Pat Harrigan. Pat Harrigan is a good person. He ran a good campaign. He decided to step forward and run, which is not easy, for the same reasons that he joined the military and served overseas. It's because he loves our country, and he wants what's best for it. Please join me in thanking my opponent.
Yeah, and let me tell you a little bit about his new proposed bill that he says he is going to bring to the federal government to end gerrymandering, as I mentioned. And he says that for too long, politicians have been trying to take power away from the voters. He says his main priority is to reverse that, give power back to the people. Just a very excited atmosphere here at Lenny Boy Brewing. I'm Sydney Heiberger, Queen City News.
Yeah, Sydney, of course, redistricting, one of the big issues that we've had all the way up to the Supreme Court when you're talking about the gerrymandering here in the state of North Carolina. Always a hot topic between both parties.
Yeah. Sydney, thanks for your coverage. All right, let's get out to Derek Dellinger, who is at Pat Harrigan's watch party. Derek?
Yeah, and Derek, also, before we went to break there, you were teasing something about the election here tonight, even though it's been decided, or what's the deal now?
Well, this basically has to do a lot with redistricting and some of the Supreme Court decisions, the U.S. Supreme Court decision, as well as the state Supreme Court decisions that have been coming out very recently. I've got Sarah Reedy Jones here. She's the Mecklenburg GOP chair, and we've been talking about this off camera quite a bit. Tell us a little bit about this. This basically means even though the race has been decided tonight, things could be changing here, right?
Absolutely, because now if we're going to have the Supreme Court, we're going to look at reinstating voter ID as well as picking up those redistricting maps. That's the case with Tim Moore at the U.S. Supreme Court, but it looks like it will likely go back to being upheld, being drawn by the, as the Constitution states, being drawn by the state legislature. So it looks like the maps will totally be in play again very soon.
And basically this means that Gaston County itself will basically be more or less in its own district, and portions of Mecklenburg County, as Charlotte itself will basically be its own congressional district. That's the way it was initially drawn before the court made these decisions on the way the districts are right now, right?
Yeah, without a crystal ball, I would assume it would go similar to what we had seen prior with the Republicans.
And just to be clear here, would this mean an immediate change, or would this mean an extra election before 2024?
I think it's going to be an extra election, so buckle up, get ready to do this all over again, most likely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sarah. That gives us a little bit of context on what we can anticipate, at least for the next little bit. And again, it might not be over tonight, as Sarah was saying, and that's something that really depends on how everything else comes out tonight, and also this.
And Derek, just for people watching right now,
Queen City News.
Derek, for people watching right now, just to kind of clear up, because that's kind of breaking news right there, where you're talking about the 14 14th district that was part of a redistricting to get this new seat, and you're saying now we might have to take this new seat and redistrict again, is essentially what she's saying. Am I hearing that correctly?
Potentially, yes. I mean, she's saying that depending on how the results come out tonight with the state Supreme Court, in addition to the Supreme Court decision that could be coming down specifically on whether North Carolina's redistricting maps were legal or not, that could have an impact on what we see as far as the congressional districts are concerned. And that could mean a bit of a change, and that could mean a redrawing of all the districts, and specifically some of the ones in the Charlotte area.
All right, buckle up.
Yeah, we've been buckling up for quite a while on this redistricting here in North